Stop what you're doing. Look at this. Dubai chocolate strawberries. I don't know. I just got halal food and I ate it. I'm in a good mood and I have a really cool deck to share with you today. And that is this really cool mid-range deck that I got to create working with all three of the names that you see above. Dala, TBC, and Angel. For those of you who aren't on the Discords, you might be wondering why have I had so many viewer decks, and that's actually because I am leaving for a big vacation, going on a cruise in Greece, and I needed to pre-record some videos. So I did a little thing where members of the community can send in decks, and if I pick your deck to make a video with it, I'll offer you a season pass or a PAX code. It's been a lot of fun, honestly, and I think it might be something I do again, so do be sure to join Roram Plays Discord, which is where I ran it. If you need a link, comment, join, and I can get you an invite code. But anyways, they all had different takes on this deck, and talking with all three of them individually is where I kind of ended up on my own version. I'm recording this section before playing, which is normally not what I do, so we will see how the gameplay goes, but I think there's really strong potential here. Utilizing the changed Mysterio's clone that is 0 power alongside Debrii's rocks, where you're able to Yellowjacket and Annihilus and send over a ton of cards onto your opponent's board. It sounds like a really cool take on a clog deck that I'm really down to try. And additionally, it runs 2 of the tech cards that are really good into the meta right now, those being Killmonger and Shadow King. Some other shenanigans you could do with this are give your own lanes negative power to where your Isca is scaling up regardless of what power your opponent has there. And then you could clean it up later with an Annihilus or with a Merlin spell. So overall, I think there's a lot of unpredictability. I think this is an archetype that I really enjoy playing that was kind of stomped out by the Show Laos and by the Star-Lords. So I'm hyped to jump on and give it a try, but before we do that, let me give you a little card-by-card breakdown to better explain how this list works. The first card in the list is Yellowjacket, who is used strictly for his Afflict ability and his 0 cost. Not only does he afflict the Mysterio clones or your Debrii rocks or just your hood / void with negative power that you send over to your opponents, but he also can be used as a Merlin spell target, or he can be used to move a Werewolf by Night around the board. This is an archetype that a popular player named Honifer has played at many GGs and high on ladder. Normally he plays Agamotto variations, but it all has a similar through line, and that is one that I'm also very familiar with as I've played it in stuff like the Snap Judgments League and etc. Hood not only generates you a demon, but he is a body for your Merlin spells. He makes your Isca doubling easier, and you can send him over to clog your opponents. With the nature of being a Killmonger deck, you do need to be a little bit wary about running your demon right out there, but demon can be a very strong final turn play with Annihilus plus demon. This deck is a Werewolf by Night deck, and he needs cheap on reveals to move him. Merlin generates you those cheap on reveals, and he also synergizes extremely well with every other part of this package. Not only does he provide you with the location control that you otherwise would not have, he also gives you a backup way to remove the void, remove the hood, remove the Debrii rocks or the Mysterio clone. You could also polymorph all of those things, which is almost always better than doing an Annihilus clog shenanigan. You can get an extra 3-drop from your Mysterio, you can get an extra 2-drop out of the rocks, you can get an extra 5-drop out of the void. It's all very strong. Also, Pete the Split. Kate Bishop is doing a lot of the same things by providing us these cheap cards to move around our Werewolf by Night, but she has the additional upside of giving you the Acid Arrow, an extremely powerful tool in this list in conjunction with our mini clog package from the Annihilus stuff. Additionally, you'll find some upside with the Grapple Arrow in getting you access to locations that you otherwise might not be able to enter. Mysterio is a recent addition to this kind of deck that we haven't seen in a very long time, and he gives you some interesting upside, being able to polymorph his clone, being able to send over his clone, Or what I haven't touched on yet is you could actually swap his power and his clone, play a Shadow King down at the original Mysterio's location, and you end up with a 2/10, which allows you to use your Shadow King as an offensive stats guy, kind of like playing a 2/5 and a 3/9 when you play them in conjunction, even if you have no good Shadow King targets on the opponent's side of the board. Also, peep the split. Killmonger is one of the 2 tech cards we are running to keep other people honest. This deck is a little bit low to the ground, so stuff like Techno-Organic Virus is a bit of a hard matchup, but Killmonger helps swing that back into our favor. He conflicts a little bit with the clog part of the package, as you want to keep these cheap cards to send over to your opponents, which incentivizes you to hold this guy until the final turn of the game. But something very nice that you get to do with Merlin is, say you get a shuffle card into the deck, get extra energy spell on turn 5, then on turn 6 you can do an Annihilus and a Killmonger, or an Annihilus and a Shadow King, or Sentry Polymorph Killmonger. You could do a bunch of different combinations like that with the extra energy from Merlin that allow you to hold this guy till late in the game. This guy is our stat stick for the deck. Him and Isca are our ways to go pretty vertical, and you will go vertical with a werewolf. You'll scale this guy up a whole lot, and he will be super big and super flexible. You're running Merlin, you're running Kate, you're running Yellowjacket. There's no reason really not to run this guy. I also do want to say it's a bit out of place, but with Yellowjacket, if your hand is getting too full from Kate Bishop, from Hood, from Merlin, you could play out the Yellowjacket a little bit early, even if you're not going to get value out of it, so you can continue drawing cards, which is a reason why I like a 0 cost in my Werewolf by Night, Merlin, Kate Bishop style lists. Shadow King is our other card to keep people honest. He's doing a lot of the similar things that Killmonger is doing, although, like I mentioned with Mysterio, he has a bit of additional upside built into our deck. He could also revert the negative effect from a Yellowjacket if you are not going to take advantage of it, which is nice. But what this guy is here to do is to keep your opponents honest. They're playing Manspider? No, they're not. They're doing a 30 power brood? No, they're not. Do be a little bit wary on the final turn though. Try not to keep your Werewolf and Shadow King in the same lane. Like sometimes you want a Shadow King last, but keep in mind that your Werewolf will move to follow, and you often don't need to double hammer lanes that hard. Debrii is just here for good stats. She's good stats, and she gives you bodies for Merlin spells to hit, and she gives you occasional clog upside with the Yellowjacket Annihilus type play. She's just a good synergy piece with a good body, and you love to see it. Isca, while not being an on reveal, she is going to get extremely tall in this list. If you play her and then play a Sentry the following turn, your Isca is going to double and double again, and you're threatening to have a 24 power Isca on the final turn of the game. There's a little bit of dissonance with her and Shadow King, but typically with the fact of her being a 4 cost, you kind of have an idea of what lane will be a good Shadow King lane by the time you're dropping the Isca down. Sentry plus Merlin is just a goated combo. Typically with polymorph spells, the best thing you could do is turn something into a 5-drop in. That's what it lets you do with the Void. The Void also keeps your Isca doubling. Sentry moves your Werewolf around. The Void can be used as a clog tool with the Annihilus. There's a whole lot of intricacies that you can leverage with a card like this. And although this guy is backup when we don't get the Merlin stuff, he's still very good and very necessary for us to have. Even when you're not clogging and you're not doing werewolf stuff and you're just getting the Void destroyed, this guy basically plays as a 5/17 to a 5/20, removing the Hood, removing the Void, removing any of the bodies you might have afflicted with Yellowjacket. It's just really good stuff to do. And a 5/8 is a pretty decent body. Additionally, like I mentioned with the tech cards in the list, he pairs pretty good with a final turn Killmonger or Shadow King. Or if you don't get any extra energy, he pairs pretty good with a final turn Demon. So hopefully y'all found that insightful and you find this deck as interesting as I do. I know it's one of my favorite ways to play Marvel Snap. So I'm going to go eat that Dubai chocolate strawberry dessert, and then I'm going to hop into some gameplay. Do be sure to join the Discord like I mentioned. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe. It all really helps so much, and I do really appreciate the support. as always, so I will see you guys over in the gameplay. All right, let's go. Game number 1. I actually didn't wait to finish that dessert, so I'm going to be eating it in between games. Don't mind me, anybody. Let's see, what do we want to do? Probably want to Kate Bishop and work towards getting some draw on the Survivors camp. Although setting up an Isca could be cool there too. Interesting. X Mansion. I think I actually want to ship an Acid Arrow over and just drop a Mysterio down. I'm really playing for this draw, but we're set up very strong in order to do so. We'll see what we get off this X Mansion. Thanos. That's huge. I'm gonna get sip. Looks like a Surfer deck, so that Esme could have actually been impactful for them, although I am not positive on that. We are going to Hood into Debris, end turn. Hopefully we draw our Annihilus, and then we can play Yellowjacket Annihilus, which would be so sick. We get to send over the Hood and the Mysterio illusion and a Debris Rock, which actually just ruins their Brood play lines. Yes, we see it. That's so hype. This would absolutely be a snap if I could do it. We're gonna do this, and we are going to likely set up for a Shadow King in the middle lane. Actually, no, Shadow King in the middle lane probably won't matter. It's just a Maverick, and none of that's buffed. Or is Prodigy buffed? Oh, I got 2 from Dala, so let's see. Get rid of 2 power on the Maverick. We actually don't want to Killmonger in case they do Brood. Could just do Sentry, Basic Arrow Demon. This is certainly not bad at all. The other play line could be a Shadow King, which let's see, how much does that actually reduce it by? This by 2, Maverick by 2. It'd send it down by 4. They go down to 16, we go up to 21. And then we can play a Demon out. And a Basic Arrow. I like this better. This is a little bit more defensive. We'll see if it can hold it down, but I think we should be able to. Barring a Silver Surfer, there it is. That might actually beat us. That's a big Maverick. Into a Brood, 24 power Brood. GG's to the opponent. I don't think we could have really beat that play. Man, but some versions aren't even running Surfer. I guess not all. Next game against MSL Castro. Hopefully they actually get a dub when we do the cool thing, because that was really cool. That was really hype. There's the Annihilus. Love to see it. I'm going to drop down a Mysterio in the left lane. We also could go the route of getting the upside captured with a Shadow King. Ooh, Starbrand Crater. That's interesting. I think we're going to drop a Werewolf by Night and set up for playing it, moving it into the Starbrand Crater. Nico +2. Honestly, just Kate Bishop, but I think we want the energy ramp, so this would move our Werewolf. Wait. Oh, I misplayed. I think. I could have activated Mysterio, played the Yellowjacket left, and then played the Kate right if I had Werewolf in any other lane, which would be ideal because the Yellowjacket's power is just going to be wasted in the Necrotia. But we do get to add additional negative power that we get to send over with the Annihilus. Oh, dang it. I wish I would have known they were magnetoing me. I could have just fixed it myself. Love to see the Acid Arrow. Let's see, we're actually going to drop probably Annihilus, what do we think, in the mid lane? Into a Acid Arrow in the right lane. Oh, beat sweet. We're going to get the Clog, which is what I was playing around. We're also going to continue to get the ramp. This is one of those matchups where Mobius would have been great to have, but alas, I did end up cutting it to try to fit all this Yellowjacket stuff. That's actually the card I cut for Yellowjacket. And now we do get a bit of a crappy final turn. Let's see, what's the best we could do? Probably would start off with a Killmonger, and then we need to beat 16 power here, so likely we need to end up with a Werewolf by Night in the right lane, which we could do something like a Hood, Killmonger. No, I want it to be a Killmonger, a Grapple Arrow, a Shadow King. This is cool. This is something that might be able to win, although it's probably not going to be able to win, assuming they got double Gambits or double Sasquatches, which is pretty likely. Boom, but look at these werewolf movements. I can't tell me this isn't the coolest deck in the game to play. Of course, the Cringe Lords have double Gambit. I swear, people were not playing this deck just a minute ago, but that flipped on its head. There goes just like our entire board. Wow, well that feels really bad. Our next game, we keep doing cool things, but can we get paid off from it? That's the question. We're gonna play Hood down middle. Generally, when you're playing these Sentry Annihilus lists, I'm taking that as I'm on Surfer combo and there's a Hospice. we're gonna leave. Or I'm on Man Spider and there's a hospice. I guess, I don't know. Shadow King could have worked good there, or Isca could. I should have stayed. I'm just panicking. I want to get a win. We got the next game against Yoda. What's Yoda's avatar? I don't know. I do know that a acid arrow could just win us the game on the spot, or at least that's what we threaten. I have to play the chimichanga now as to not clog my hand. Sadly, I would have loved to save it for the werewolf move. Of course, we don't hit the acid arrow that we so wanted. See, and having the Bifrost is weird too, because now we need to play in a way that A, won't clog our hand, and B, won't clog our board. So we're going to need to do something like werewolf into, I don't know, it's going to need to end up in the Bifrost, is what I'm saying, to where we can move it out later. Well, that's not terrifying. Why do we keep playing these decks? I was playing a bunch of cool decks. I was playing against a bunch of techno-organic buyers decks all day when I'm recording. And now that I'm playing the cool list that has good matchups into those TOV decks, all I see is Surfer. Wow. It's just terrible for us. No, I'm not doing that. No, honestly, eating this dessert as I've been recording is kind of a life hack to never get tilted. So highly recommended for anybody out there who sometimes deals with that. The Abbey's nice. We're going to get a draw. 32 card deck. What the heck? You're just running every card that puts something in your deck, aren't you? Or rather, putting the Uatu there instead of the Abbey. A bit weird in my head. I kind of want to start scaling my werewolf, but I'm absolutely just going to clog my hand to high heavens. But even if I don't put it there, I'm still going to clog my hand with this Pyramid of Ramatut location. Of course, in all those cards, they hit the turn 3 Doom 2099. That has been generated by Arsham. Why wouldn't that happen? I think we're just going to drop an Isca into Sentry once in future and go crazy. Or even once in future onto the Merlin. What? I mean, they're very based for playing Ramatut in this deck. And we are going to have to get rid of the Merlin in order for us to actually start scaling up this Isca. It's actually kind of a really bad play now that I'm looking at it. I have nothing to get rid of the Sentry Rock, so let's just hope they hit the void with this Gambit. Total misplay by me, but we could get bailed out. Likely not going to get bailed out. It's the Isca instead. Well, that's perfectly fine, because look what we get to do. We get to do Annihilus and Shadow King and win the game. We're bailed out always. This is going to move the werewolf left, send over the void, and then we are going to knock down that Ramatut middle and have our werewolf follow. I guess we actually don't win the game. Morph? Really? Mysterio. I was going to say they could have hit Killmonger or a less power card like the Rock. But either which way, we end up walking away with the dub there. Fisk Tower, terrible location for us. Makes our Werewolf by Night's really awkward. Maybe we don't even play out a Werewolf by Night. Maybe we just do Debrii into Isca type deal. I think we're going to go with the Debrii middle into an Isca right is what it looks like. Yep, Gladiator coming down. What's that pool? Yellowjacket, that's fine. Just thins our deck, although it does get rid of a little bit of the clog utility we would have been able to have otherwise. But we get the Sentry, which is perfect. We get to just play a Sentry middle into an Annihilus somewhere, and we're contesting all 3 lanes pretty strong. We're going to have 24 almost guaranteed in the left unless they don't play any more cards there. No, actually, the only way we don't... No, never mind. Look at that. Boom. 24 guaranteed. It was actually just a perfectly cromulent mid-range game that we just put together. Gets rid of our Mysterio. Oh, our Werewolf. Lowest power, not lowest cost. We're happy with this. Hood. Perfect. Keeps our Isca doubling no matter what. Sentry. Puts a Void down. We're going to send that over. And now we get a Demon to pair with it. We'll just do that, and we should win. Actually, we could play the pin down middle as well in case they do like a cannonball type play, because our Isca, we're going to have 24 points here plus the -3 from the Hood, so they need at least to either fill this lane with 12 more power, or they need 15 more power in one board slot, which I don't think they got. They are filling it. Shadow King comes down, resets the Isca. Moon Knight comes down, going to get rid of their Swarm and our Mysterio or Hawkeye. We don't care about either. The Annihilus is going to win on points in the right lane, even with them moving that Mercury over, and a Demon comes down for good measure. Alright, Hood in the left lane. Keep it separate from where we will have our Void. Also, we're going against Dark Razor. Dang, rank number 3. He probably is going to be running a Killmonger deck. He might be on his Ronin tech deck. He's always on some sort of tech deck, is the Moral of the story. Superflow? Perfect. Let's start scaling up an Isca down in that left lane. Polymorph is also perfect. I'm going to do that right now, this turn, with the Sentry. Suji, not going to affect me at all. We're kind of totally dominating this type of... We are totally dominating this type of game. Gets my entire hand discarded by a MODOK. Are you kidding me? No way. We were doing such cool stuff. We were going to absolutely crush and win this game with ease if we didn't get so unlucky. Perfect. Just finished my dessert. We're playing against Butt. We've played I don't know how many games, but this could probably be my last. Although I would like to end on a dub, so let's get it right now. I think Butt's probably still on his Nightmare deck. Debris, good. Luna Snow, alright. That just means we get to play extra cards. We're going to play down a Sentry. We're going to polymorph it. And then we're probably going to say Quantum Future or Rock. Send over another Rock with our Annihilus. Blink, interesting. We'll just take the stats. That's just really good. Another polymorph. What are we actually going to do here? I think we actually do some Werewolf by Night stuff, believe it or not. We could do a Werewolf by Night into a Yellowjacket, which will afflict all these cards, and then we could Killmonger on the left lane to contest the Dala, which we will move the Werewolf out of later. It puts 21 points down there, so his Infinite will need to match that, or he'll need to invest there later is kind of what I mean. Debris comes down, Ebony Maw comes down, we're going to clear that up. Punisher comes down, he is not going to win that location in the slightest, but we're probably going to be given an unplayable Infinite here, if I had to guess. Maybe an unplayable 412 because none of his cards are afflicted. Anything on reveal though, and we do like where we are. I didn't think, but the Yellowjacket didn't let us get a Werewolf move in. Perfect. Merlin gives us the on reveal that we wanted. So we get to do something like a polymorph into a 3-drop. Werewolf by Night moves over, and then we do something like a Starbrand and a Martyr. We could throw a lane with the Hood. I don't know. He only has 6 energy, right? We gave him a Shadow King. So he can't Shadow King our Werewolf lane, but it doesn't do him much good. Neither does Shadow Kinging the middle, really. So we're probably just going to do Starbrand, Martyr, Polymorph, and we don't even play out the Hood, would be my guess. Annihilus comes down, and a Polymorph. Polymorph is not going to matter there. So I guess it's just... No, it'll just be a dub. We lose by 1 in that location, but we're going to get a Kraglin, get some extra power. Werewolf's going to move over there, and we are going to secure the victory. Good final game to end it on.